Hey all, another auto repair story here. This one will be a long one, I am afraid, but I am loath to break it into multiple parts. It was 7 o'clock in the evening on a Saturday in August when my cell phone rang. It was Ram. Hey dude, I am showing a customer that red V70 and it will not start. Me. Turn the key and it just clicks? Ram. Yeah, what does that mean? Me. Battery is dead. You will have to jump it. Ram. Can you come by and do it? I will buy you a sandwich from that deli across the way. The sandwich shop in the strip mall next door was pretty damn fantastic, I had to admit, and coming to meant I got to clock a whole quarter hour of overtime. Me. Whatever the special is on wheat, lots of olives. I will be by in 10. The Volvo turned out indeed to just be a low battery, and a quick jump off my Jeep had it going in seconds. I walked into the bay to punch in all that delicious overtime. Hey, Rom, where's the orange Smart Cabrio? We were one of the first retailers of imported smart cars. A couple years before Mercedes and Penske brought them officially, we had a small herd of gray market cars. And since there were only a handful in the States at the time, they tended to get a lot of attention. They were a great car to have in inventory, since they had a huge profit margin, circa $5,000 markup on each, and basically sold themselves. But with a ravenous demand for them, we knew they were a serious target for thieves, and we kept all of ours in one of the bays under lock and key. Ram's eyes snapped to the empty spot in the bay where a certain orange Smart Cabrio should have been sitting. He freaked, his voice rising to a soprano shriek. What the fuck? Is it in the service bay? I kicked off the alarm for the service bay and surveyed. Lots of broken Volkswagens. Some evidence that one of the techs in Colossal Redneck had enjoyed a few natty ices after hours, but zero Smart Cabrios. Within seconds, Ram was on the horn with the police. Ram basically told the Volvo customer to piss off, and he and I chatted for a minute while we analyzed the situation. Someone had managed to get a car out of the bay without tripping the alarm on the building, and Ram assured me the building was locked up tight when he arrived an hour earlier. I scrolled through the alarm, but we all had the same code, so it was impossible to tell who had been in and out. We had nothing to go off of. Monday came with no word from the police about our stolen smart car. I came in at my usual a little bit late o'clock and rolled open the door to the bay. I immediately whipped out my phone and rang Ram. Boss, you are not going to believe it. The orange Cabrio is back in the bay. What? The building was locked, no trip codes in the alarm, and the key is back on the hook. Car is dirty, but it is intact. Ram blasted into the parking lot moments later, the Amazon in tow. The Amazon was his wife and co-owner of the business. She was every bit 11 feet tall and loved exactly 3 things in the world: shouting at employees, shouting at vendors, and shouting at customers. Just shouting in general. The two yelled incoherently, trying in vain to scream themselves toward a logical explanation while I scrolled through the alarm. Lots of arms and disarms on Sunday, nothing atypical there, and nothing that morning. We called the police back and informed them that the car had been found. Rum asked them to come take fingerprints. And even without speakerphone turn on, I could hear the guffaw on the other end of the line. Obviously, we were going to have to solve this ourselves. It is the next Saturday, and I am laying on my couch trying to balance a can of Coors on my stomach while watching Nigella Lawson when the phone rings. It is Colossal Redneck. Dude, Rom just called me. That their Cabrio is missing again. Y'all know anything about it? I did not put it in for service on Friday, did you? Nope. Shit. I will have Rom call the fuzz again. Monday rolls around, and I saunter into work a few minutes late. The bay door is open, with Rom, the Amazon, and Colossal Redneck standing around staring at something. I pull up to the door. Lo and behold, the Cabrio is back. Amid the wailing of the bosses, Colossal Redneck pontificated in a bout of eloquence. This shit is fucked the fuck up. Immediately following profanity, however, was a rare moment of brilliance. Looky here. The alarm has not gone off. The building is locked up. The fucking key is back in the right spot. If it was a thief, why did they not take none of the computers or the tow rig or the flatbed or nothing? Shit. The techs have all them tools, and nobody went and bored those. And hell, why did they bring the car back? And twice? I will tell you what, it has got to be somebody in the company doing it. He was right. The evidence added up to only one thing. Somebody on staff was borrowing the car without wanting anyone to know about it. Some dealerships let staff take inventory home in hopes that they will be more familiar with the cars and be better able to sell them. But aside from occasionally loaning a car out for an overnight shakedown after major repairs, this was not something we did, and particularly not with a gray market smart car. In fact, we did not even let people test drive them, with the exception of one blue hardtop that we used as a demo car. Colossal Redneck continued. It ain't me. I doubt it is any of you three, and I would be real surprised if a tech took it home, since none of them like these things much. Gotta be someone in sales or the office staff. We nodded in agreement. In one fell swoop, Colossal Redneck had narrowed it down to just 5 people, the 2 salespersons and the 3 other employees. We endeavored to install a camera in the bay where we kept the cars, and before the sales staff came the following morning, a tech and I climbed up into the loft and hid a camera and recording box up there pointing down toward the bay door. Fast forward to the following Sunday. I am underneath an old Ford van a friend used as a tow rig, trying desperately to get the sad, old 351 Windsor to not overheat, when my phone rings. Covered in a mixture of grease and ethylene glycol, I answer. It is Rom. Cabrio is gone. Get over here and help me get the recording out of the camera. 15 more glorious minutes of overtime. Hooray! I tightened a few hose clamps on the Econoline and hopped in the Jeep. I roll into the parking lot at work to find Rom, the Amazon, Colossal Redneck, and a bored-looking police officer standing around a curiously vacant spot in the bay. I climbed up in the loft to grab the recording box and hook it to a TV. Oddly enough, there were no lights on either the box or the camera. Someone had unplugged them. We played back what we could of the recording, but all we saw was a typical busy Saturday. The 2 salespeople, the owners, and most of the office staff coming and going all day long. Nothing looked untoward at all, and the orange Cabrio remained cemented in place the entire day. And then, right around 5 o'clock, when people were starting to look like they were thinking about checking out for the day, the recording stopped. Either the tech who helped me had spilled the beans, which was not super likely, because the technicians hated the office staff with a passion, or someone had spotted the camera and pulled it offline just before stealing the car. Unfortunately, I had positioned the camera in a way where it did not catch the staircase of the loft, and so, once again, the trail was cold. There was much deliberation. My job was threatened by Rom. The Amazon shouted at me for a while, and the police officer left without saying anything. I noticed Colossal Redneck was surprisingly quiet, until he butted into the yelling and relayed a cunning plan. It hinged on the absolute stupidity of whoever was taking the car. This ordinarily might have been a problem, but being that it was probably a salesperson who took it, betting on idiocy meant the trap was foolproof. Fast forward to following Friday, 6 p.m. I am back home after a day of work, cooking dinner, when my phone rings. It is Mr. Ferrari, one of our sales staff, who previously had worked for the Ferrari dealership in town and never let anyone forget it. Got a car that will not start. Okay, be there in a few. No, I am sick of this shit. Just tell me how to fix it. This was novel. The sales staff categorically refused to mess with car, even for something as simple as filling a tire off the compressor or jumping the battery. Lady Applebee's was too incompetent, and Mr. Ferrari was far too important for such things. Mr. Ferrari even refused to refuel the cars, making one of my lackeys do it for him. I had to admit, I was a little impressed that he wanted to fix it on his own for once, and I was certainly pleased that I might not have to put pants back on. Click but no start? Mr. Ferrari sighed in exasperation. No, quit making stupid assumptions. The goddamn key will not turn in the ignition. All right, hang on. Let me call a tech real quick and get an opinion. Get back to you in a few. 10 minutes later, Rom and I screeched into the parking lot one immediately after another. Mr. Ferrari was livid. He marched toward me, finger pointed accusingly. What the fuck? You were supposed to call me back, you piece of shit. Rom sauntered over to him like the bow-legged sheriff of some spaghetti western town. You fucked up, that is what. Rom snatched the key out of Mr. Ferrari's hand. Sure enough, it was a smart car key, suspiciously labeled for the orange Cabrio. In a scene that looked a fair bit like the closing moments of a Scooby-Doo cartoon, Rom explained the plot. Colossal rednecks switched the keys out on the orange Cabrio for another Smart, so it would not start. We figured it was not anyone in service taking the car, and we knew sales could not troubleshoot why the key would not turn. When you refuse to have the tech come fix it for you, we knew something was up, since you never fix shit. And here you are, orange Cabrio key in hand, you stupid dumb fuck. Mr. Ferrari tried to weasel out of it by saying that he thought it was okay to borrow it for the weekend. When that did not work, he crafted a wild explanation like a child caught in a lie, claiming that somehow all the key tags fell off the smart car keys. He got the mix-up trying to put the right tags back on the right keys, and that he really was trying to get the demo to start, not the Cabrio. Rom was having none of it. And in the end, Mr. Ferrari got a stern talking to, which meant sitting in Rom's office while he endlessly whined, "I do not get what your problem is." Over an unknown number of weekends, Mr. Ferrari had racked up a few thousand miles on the Cabrio and somehow managed to scratch and gouge the hell out just about every panel in the interior, meaning we ended up having to sell the car at a loss. In the end, I received nearly 45 minutes of overtime for my participation in the ordeal, though the promised sandwich never did appear.